What's going on, Paisanos? V here. We need to talk about Mystic Mine. I am so over this card. It's unbelievable. This card is so bad for this game, and somehow nothing is being done about it. Konami, in turn, by starting to let players go to physical events, is shooting themselves in the foot by not allowing players to play the actual card game. Mystic Mine as a card literally stops Yu-Gi-Oh! In its tracks. They released a card, made multiple reprints, by the way. The card came out in Maximum Gold Eldorado, 2010 Lost Memories. Like, they reprinted it twice, and still they have not learned their lesson. Mystic Mine is such a terrible card. Think about it. You're playing a game, you're going back and forth with your opponent. Finally, the format's slow enough where we can have this back and forth action, and Mystic Mine just touches down. Now we're playing Draw Go. We're essentially trying to deck each other out by activating Mystic Mine. And you can't really blame the player. You can't. Because everyone's playing the tools given to them by the band, supported by Konami. Konami really just made a terrible band. This isn't the first time they've done this, by the way. We had Frog FTK in US Nationals in the past. It was an absolutely abhorrent Nationals. And this is what I call trickle-down Yu-Gi-Oh! Nomics. This is the way I see it. Ready? We'll start from the top down. You can do it the other way around easily, but we'll just do the top down. You have your YGOPaisano Nationals. This immediately cuts the amount of players down due to the vaccine requirements. So all the players that you see are left and to your right, majority of them are not going to these events because Konami has insanely high vaccine requirements. You have to have your card, you have to have booster, you have to have vaccine, you have to wear masks all times. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players just don't want to deal with this anymore. So a majority of players are not going to YGOPaisano and Nationals. Now, that's the top layer. The second layer is less players now want to go to regionals because why? You're in an invite to a Nationals you more likely won't be able to go to because of the heavy COVID requirements. It just doesn't make any sense, okay? So that's layer 2. Once again, less players want to go to regionals. Then we have layer 3. Less incentive to playtest and an OTS shop for these regionals. And then we have Mystic Mine on top of all of that saying, hey, listen, to those who do want to play at regionals, to those who do want to play at the YGOPaisano Nationals, to those who need to practice at their local OTS shop, you now have this one card that you have to play because, oops, we did a banless oopsie. We forgot to hit a card like Mystic Mine. I mean, there's a lot of other cards we could consider, like Artifact Scythe. Yeah, we just forgot about that as well. So those are in the meta right now. You have to play with those cards. And you have to play those cards in a meta in which, oh, by the way, for those who still are remaining after all the loopholes and jumps we make people go through, you have to play with this card that basically says you can't play the actual card game. I imagine many Yu-Gi-Oh! Players at YGOPaisano Connecticut lost because they got decked out. And it's easy to say, well, you should main the out to Mystic Mine. But it doesn't really make any sense. Let me explain. Why should you main the out to a card that has no archetype? Meaning, let's say I'm playing a deck that doesn't play Mystic Mine, and you play Harvey Featherluster and Cosmic Cyclone. Alright? You're now playing dead cards. That's not deck building. That's because of a degenerate format. That's because we have a card that's so bad, players have to put cards in that may or may not be affecting their current game state. Top deck mode? Enjoy drawing that Harvey's Featherluster in top deck mode, you know, in case you see Mystic Mine. Once again, it doesn't have an archetype besides Mystic Mine Burn, and I think we can all agree Mystic Mine Burn is an insanely bad degenerate deck. It's not fun to play against that deck. Who literally says, oh, I had a great time grinding against Mystic Mine Burn? Nobody. It's a very bad deck. It's an insanely bad deck, and it's only good right now because Konami is doing zero to stop one card. One card. It's absolutely upsetting. And of course, it's going to contribute to future sales decline. Nobody's going to want to buy Yu-Gi-Oh! Packs. Nobody's going to want to build Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks if they have to deal with this bad card. Even less so if you're not going to Nationals, Regionals, or YCS, or any of that. Because of one card. Can you believe that? Like, one card is making it horrible to actually enjoy the game. It's making you not want to play the game because when you're playing the game and it's played against you, you immediately stop playing the game because of Mystic Mine. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely ludicrous. Now, I might make another video talking about why I think Yu-Gi-Oh! The way they're headed is only going to be bad for the players as far as going to major events. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but what we're seeing here is Yu-Gi-Oh! Players finally able to go to events, have to now go through all this stuff, and I'm going to talk about that in another video. But I just want to really emphasize, this could have easily been the best format we've ever had in a very long time. Think about the current meta decks. Flunderies, the deck costs less than $200 if you're not playing Prosperity. It is technically a budget deck. Sword Souls, finally back in action with their pure version, and they're great, branded. There's several versions of brand you can play. Plants have made a massive comeback, and the OCG they couldn't have because of Max C. We have Punks and all the variations, Adventure Punks. And of course we have Theorons going into a lot of decks, bringing them back like ABCs. These are all amazing decks and they're really fun to play with and against. Unfortunately, we have one card that says you can't play with or against any of these. You drop this card against a majority of these decks, and they don't have the answer. You auto win by proxy. You auto win because they don't main the out. You're not supposed to main it out against one random card. That's not how that works. If you're playing against an art type, let's say like Flunderies, and you're playing branded, maining the out or having an answer would more likely be something like Banshee in the side with Zombie World. Like, that makes more sense. You can't just go, oh, what, you playing against Flunderies? Oh, nobody played against if you're playing Brandon, you don't play Zombie World? Like, that makes sense. But nobody's going and saying, oh, Mystic Mine? You mean that one card that has 0 archetype? It belongs to no deck, but is using every deck to stop you if you don't have the answer to that one card? Sucks to suck, I guess. It makes no sense. Makes absolutely 0 sense. And I think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are starting to slowly get this. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are growing to see this, and it's starting to be really annoying. We saw in YCS Connecticut where a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, every single round, had to sit through round after round after round of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Players building a board, getting ready to get involved in that fight that is Yu-Gi-Oh! And a guy drops Mystic Mine, and they play Draw Go. It's not fun. It's not making me want to enjoy this game. It's not making me want to play this game. And I love this game. But why should I deal with this? Why should anyone deal with this one bad card? And I think that's what's going to be hurting this game. It's definitely hurting this game on top of everything else that's already hurting this game. But it's definitely putting a huge damper on the amount of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that actually want to go to locals. Can't wait to go to locals and get shut down by Mystic Mine. Can't wait to build up a great board and one card immediately tell me I can't play the game. Like, oh, it's so exciting. So exciting. And then my opponent finally draws enough cards because so many turns have passed by because I didn't draw the out, but even though I mained the out, let's say. Oh, and then my opponent just blows me out the next turn. Fun. Real fun. Thanks, Konami. Thanks for not hitting this card. I had to wait 10 turns so my opponent could draw a big enough hand to smoke me in one shot. That's cool. I like that. I had a great time playing that card. Can we play more cards to make us not play your game? Who does that? Who puts cards in to say you cannot play the game? Once again, I think that Konami needs to really get their act together. This is obviously something that's going to continually drag out. The meta's about to get a lot more weirder as we enter in Splites. That deck has been a massive savage in the OCG. Absolutely just huge in the OCG. And I do think, you know, we're technically in a bad meta right now. I would agree that we are in a bad meta. And we're not entering any better one with Splites coming out that's going to be dominating here in TCG. It's not going to be helpful. It's not going to be fun. And it's only going to slow down the excitement of this game. Like, once again, you pull Mystic Mine away. I would even argue pull Artifact Scythe away. You have arguably one of the best metas we've had in a long time. A meta in which players that are building a board are versus players that are working on taking them to turn 3 and 4, where they can really thrive, versus players that are just working on controlling the game state from turn 1. And we can't do any of that. 0. None of that is going to happen. I mean, you can build your board, sure, but if I play one card, I win. And I don't win by attacking your life points. I don't win by breaking your board and killing you. No. I win because I deck you out because you use enough resources to build your board. And that one card that you don't have an answer for, I'm just going to play Draw Go. And that's going to really dampen the value of this game. It's already doing it. We saw this at YCS Connecticut. We saw at YCS Connecticut where the guy just played, you can't play .deck. And somehow you players are like, yay, Strikers won. We mean Strikers. I didn't see Strikers win. I saw somebody D-Barrier, Artifact Scythe, Mystic Mine, featuring Ray. I believe Ray was in there. I could be wrong. I saw that. You can literally grab those three types of non-archetypal cards. Technically, artifacts are their own archetype or whatever. You can grab those, and that dude could have been playing, I don't know, man. You pick one. You say the archetype. It's probably, like, Here you're playing Ojamas and probably smoked a kid because he had the card to say you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm not trying to downplay that kid. Obviously, he made a great meta choice. Once again, I'm not attacking the players for playing the tools that Konami allowed them to play. I'm never doing that. What I'm doing is pointing out the fact that we could have something amazing and we're not having it because Konami does not know how to do a ban list correctly. I live stream on Twitch TV, YGOPaisano, and I really go in and I talk about ban lists when the ban lists do come out. And every single ban list I have talked about, every single one, I have said, why is Mystic Mind still here? Why? It doesn't make any sense. It's only going to be abused. And as the game went on, more and more and more, as the format is getting slower and slower and slower, players taking advantage by playing Mystic Mind because Konami does not know to hit this card. Or Out of Work Scythe, in fact. No. Mystic Mind Effect Scythe? No. We need to let those okay. Those are okay. Yatagarasu, though? Put that to 1. Hey, take that. You guys can play Yatagarasu. Mystic Mind? No, that's at 3. That's fine. That makes sense. No, that's cool. Like, once again, I really think Konami needs to get their act together as far as creating a ban list. It's not that difficult. It's really not. You can take your results from your past events, and you can clearly see what's happening here. And hopefully Konami gets their act together and fixes that. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like button, comment down below. I might try this new style as time goes on, a video where I just talk about things that I really think the Konami needs to fix and this game can improve on. I also want to say if you did order a field center from me, they will be shipping out this Friday. Your tracking should be updated by Friday, Saturday the latest, as the field center will be shipped out. So anyone who's not ordered a field center, you can check my website out. Links will be down below. I'm going to be updating my website soon as well. We have a ton more tokens coming in, and I greatly appreciate anybody who buys on this website. I greatly appreciate anybody who buys to support me and my partner and all this stuff that we have set up over here. We have a lot of great tokens coming out for you guys. We have a lot of great filters coming out for you guys, and we want to go just peruse the website. It's YGOPaisano.myshopify.com. Once again, I greatly appreciate everybody watching this video and being here today. Hit the subscribe button. It's your boy V. You Paisanos. You Paisanos have a great day.